This is our electric car. It's a 1916 Rauch and Lang made in Cleveland. For many years, in fact from 1950 until about 2001, this car was only a museum piece. It sat here as a museum car, but we never ran it. The batteries on these cars usually had to be replaced about every 5 years. And the original batteries, 1916, they're long since gone. We did get the charger with it because these cars were always sold with a charger. And it was usually a mammoth thing that you put in your garage, and when you came back from your daily trip, you would plug in overnight, and the batteries would charge overnight, be ready for the next day. Even so, the range on these cars was about 30 miles at best. Rauch and Lang and the other makers of electric cars claimed it was a little better than that, but our range now, even when we put new batteries in, which we've done twice, is about 30 miles. And they were almost always driven by women. And the car's heavy, the batteries were heavy. These cars don't steer easy because they have a tiller steer instead of a wheel, and yet they were almost always driven by women. And there were about 8 makes of electrics in this country. Baker, Rauch and Lang, Detroit, they were some of the better known ones, but the style almost never changed. They adopted this body style, and you can zoom in a little bit later on the body, but they adopted this, I'll say around 1907 or 8, and they maintained it throughout. And Detroit electric cars were built as late as 1941, still looked like this. The car had ran on 90 volts, more or less. There were 45 individual 2-volt cells in series originally. Now we just buy golf cart batteries. These batteries, this is about half what's in the car, the other half is in the back. The original batteries took up this, they fit very tight in here. These are smaller and a little bit lighter, but a little less capacity than the originals. It would be very expensive to have the originals made today. But these are, of course, 6-volt, and there's just 15 of them altogether. This is the tiller by which you steer it. It's not quite that bad when you're moving, but so ladies can play cards in here if they wish. There's 2 seats facing the driver here and another one over here, but it's quite an unusual configuration. Very strange car to drive if you're not used to it.